Here's the rewritten version, made more vivid, conversational, and a bit more engaging. The calm before the next storm. Take a moment and really let this number sink in. 87 confirmed tornadoes. That's what one single outbreak sequence handed the United States in April 2026. The most relentless, back-to-back tornado stretch the country has seen all year. We're not talking about a rough weekend here. We're talking about an EF4 tearing through Enid, an EF3 ripping through Cana that took 3 lives, another EF3 in Mineral Wells packing 145 millimeters per ones, and baseball-sized hail, 5 inches across, dropping in Johnson County, Texas, possibly the biggest hailstone of the entire season. 3 separate moderate risk days called by the Storm Prediction Center, all within the same outbreak, all within roughly 2 weeks, and then nothing. May arrived and the skies went quiet. Not a single notable tornado event in the first few days of the month. 0. We went from 87 tornadoes to absolute silence in just 4 days. If you're thinking, great, it's over, stop right there. That silence isn't the atmosphere taking a breather. It's reloading. The target has moved, and most people aren't looking the right way based on the SPC's day. 4.8 discussion released yesterday morning. The next impact zone is already locked in. And here's the thing. It's not where most people have their eyes right now. The storm track has shifted. Fast. All month long. Folks in Oklahoma and Kansas have been taking the hits while communities further east watch the coverage from a safe distance. Maybe quietly thinking, this isn't really our fight. Well, that's about to change. Dramatically. The entire April outbreak carved a path from the southern plains up through the Midwest. Enid, Mineral Wells, Cana, Wichita, Rochester, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri. That traditional tornado alley corridor is now sitting under a blocking upper-level low-pressure system parked over Ontario and Quebec, which has essentially pushed the storm track east and shut down new development over the Central Plains. The energy isn't gone. It's just reorganizing around a new southern stream feature, and it has a completely different part of the country in its crosshairs. Tuesday, May 5th. Circle it. Here's what's coming. A southern stream shortwave trough over the southwest is going to merge with an upper trough over the plains, ramping up deep southwesterly flow from the southern Rockies all the way to the mid-south. At the surface, a low-pressure system develops over the southern plains and slowly slides east into Arkansas, dragging a cold front with it through Oklahoma, Arkansas, and the lower Ohio Valley. The new danger zone? Southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, southwest Arkansas, northwest Louisiana, the Arklatex, and northeast through the Tennessee Valley. Not Iowa, not the Kansas-Nebraska border, not Wisconsin. We're talking about communities like Texarkana, Shreveport, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Jonesboro, and Memphis. Places that have spent all of April watching tornado alerts pop up hundreds of miles away. Probably not thinking twice about their own storm shelters. Their guard is down. Their severe weather muscle memory, that instinct to check the sky and know your plan, hasn't been tested the way it has for people in Kansas and Oklahoma. And the atmosphere is about to knock on their door. Why Tuesday isn't just another round of storms. Let's break down the 3 ingredients that make this setup genuinely dangerous, not just newsworthy. The moisture dew points of 60 to near 70-degree WEF are forecast across southeast Oklahoma and the Arklatex by Tuesday afternoon. Now, if that number doesn't mean much to you, let me put it plainly. A 70-degree dew point isn't just humid, it's tropical. It's the kind of thick, heavy, suffocating air you'd expect on a June afternoon in Houston. For early May in the Arklatex, that's significantly above normal, and it's basically rocket fuel for thunderstorms. All that water vapor sitting in the atmosphere gets ripped up into a developing storm and converts into explosive upward growth. The kind that spins. The wind, Shear wind shear is the change in wind speed and direction as you go higher in the atmosphere. Without it, a thunderstorm is just a thunderstorm. Loud, maybe some hail, you wait it out. With sufficient wind shear, that same storm becomes a rotating supercell. The merging shortwave and plains trough on Tuesday will produce deep layer wind shear directly over the Arklatex in southeast Oklahoma. That's the ingredient that turns storms into tornadoes. The nocturnal low-level jet. This one is the real wild card, and honestly, the scariest part of the whole setup. The low-level jet is essentially a concentrated ribbon of fast-moving wind at low altitude that charges up dramatically after sunset. Most people have never heard of it. It doesn't get the headlines, but meteorologists pay close attention to it because when it strengthens over a warm, unstable atmosphere after dark, it can supercharge both the tornado potential of any supercells in the area and the organization of squall lines along the cold front. Tuesday evening into Tuesday night is the dangerous window. Not Tuesday morning, not Tuesday afternoon over lunch. After dark, that's when this thing peaks. The communities in the crosshairs, let's name them directly, because these aren't just dots on a map. Southeast Oklahoma, Idabel, Broken Bow, Poteau. These towns sit right on the frontal boundary where the richest moisture and highest instability will converge. They need to be on full alert from Tuesday afternoon onward. The Arklatex, Texarkana, Shreveport, Marshall, Longview, Tyler, Lufkin. This is the geographic heart of where the 70-degree dew points and the developing surface low come together. This region is one of the most underrated severe weather corridors in the entire country. Not because it doesn't get hit, but because it doesn't get the same media attention as Oklahoma and Kansas. Tornadoes here are often rain-wrapped and hidden by forested terrain. You can't always see them coming. The same dynamics that make Dixie Alley events so deadly apply here. The Mid-South Corridor, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, Jackson, TN. These communities are northeast of the primary development zone, but directly in the path of any storms that fire and then track, as they always do, toward the northeast. By Tuesday night, supercells forming along the dry line in Texas and Oklahoma will be heading their way, possibly overnight. The overnight threat. Don't sleep on this. Every significant fatality during the April outbreak sequence came from one of two situations: a mobile home or a nighttime storm. The man in Kent County, Michigan, killed by wake-low winds after midnight. The PDS tornado warning in Stone County, Arkansas at 10:58 p.m. The squall line blasting through Missouri and Illinois at 2 a.m. This isn't a coincidence. Nighttime tornadoes are deadlier because sirens can't be heard through closed windows. Rain-wrapped tornadoes can't be seen approaching in the dark. Warning lead times shrink because people are asleep. The low-level jet on Tuesday specifically strengthens after dark, meaning the most explosive storm development potential lands right in the middle of the night. When awareness is at its lowest, the SPC's own documentation puts it plainly: lower awareness and greater danger. That's the reality of a nocturnal severe weather event. What you should do. Starting today, if you're in the Arklatex, Southeast Oklahoma, or anywhere in the Mid-South Corridor, don't wait until Tuesday afternoon to make your plan. By then, the first storms may already be forming. Here's what to do right now, today. Sunday, download a weather alert app that will ring like a phone call, not a banner, not a silent notification. When a tornado warning is issued for your GPS location, test it. Make sure it actually wakes you up. Find your shelter spot now. The lowest interior room in your home, away from windows. Know where it is before you're running for it in the dark. Charge your devices. Phone, backup battery, whatever you use. Do it tonight. Watch for the CIG2 indicator when the SPC upgrades the Tuesday outlook later today and tomorrow. The new conditional intensity group system signals that if a tornado forms in this environment, It will likely be EF2 or stronger, the threshold that destroys well-built homes, rips roofs off, and rolls vehicles. The April outbreak exceeded that threshold multiple times. What's happening right now? Today, while Tuesday is the main event. A few things are worth watching today as well. Strong to severe storms are tracking across southern Georgia into northern and central Florida this morning through early evening. A cold front is pushing south and east through the Florida peninsula, bringing a slight risk of damaging winds and large hail to the Florida Panhandle, northern and central Florida, and southern Georgia. There's also a narrow zone in North Florida, Tallahassee, Gainesville, Jacksonville, where conditions mid to late morning could briefly favor a higher tornado risk. Confidence is low, but it's real. Keep your radar open through early afternoon if you're in that area. Meanwhile, parts of northern and central Missouri and central Illinois are looking at a few strong storm chances today, too. Communities still cleaning up from April's outbreaks. Not exactly the break they were hoping for. The bottom line, April 2026 delivered 87 confirmed tornadoes, 3 moderate risk days, an EF4, 2 EF3s, giant hail, and lives lost, all in about 2 weeks. May went silent. For 4 days. That silence ends Tuesday. The new impact zone is confirmed. The ingredients are lining up. The communities in the path have been watching from the sidelines all month. Thank you, every. Ting, see you next video.